Okay, let's go to question 2. Now question 2, most of us achieved 2 marks. But this was max. And again, if you've lost 3 marks, 1 mark on the first question and 2 marks on this one, you potentially have just half a grade you have lost on the first 2 questions. So be mindful of this. Now, any sort of question that has explain is give reasons why or how. Now, an explain question, you know the structure you are looking for is idea, which is your point, and that would be 1 mark for an examiner. And then we are using the strategy, so what, in our heads, and that will bring on our development of our idea, which is your 2nd mark. You need that in this question twice. Now, the question gives it away of what it wants you to speak about. Growth of settlement, and it needs to be connected to the rapid growth of cities. First thing you want to give is these 2 tier 3 words, LIDC and EDC, and we are looking for an example. An example we could use is Lagos. That would get you a mark. We know that urbanisation is occurring. So urbanisation, another key term from our urban models lesson, is going to be put in there. We know this is happening, let me move this down a bit, in rural to urban migration. Rapid growth. So we are mentioning again this tier 3 word. Leads to growth of settlements. Remember, I'm glancing back because I didn't complete that correctly. Squatter settlements. Now that would be a 2nd mark because you are connecting it to the growth because of rural to urban migration. There is our development. Example, link it to rural urban migration, mention urbanisation, and then settlements. From this though is why. Why is this happening? Well, we know that because because we've seen it in Istanbul, they were able to tackle the housing crisis when the population growth slowed down and it started to move into suburbanisation. So we know that the government, due to the influx of people, cannot meet the demands of housing. There is our idea. We are then saying in our head, so what? What could I develop here? This means slums develop as no area is available to house migrants. That simple development is going to get your development mark here. Now, I've given you kind of an overview of how you would structure it. We would glance back over this and then we would model it again in order to make it better. I'm not happy with that. So I would then improve it to make myself happy. I would then go away, have a break, have a Kit Kat, and then I would recall it from memory. When I've recalled it from memory 4 or 5 times and I'm happy with it, I need to be able to do it in 4 minutes. And this is something you are not doing. 4 minutes. I need to time myself. Get someone at home to time yourself. So if we look at this example, we can see that they've achieved 4 marks because they've developed. As cities undergo rapid urbanisation, often rural to urban, the demand for housing increases. One idea there. The solution is a lack of housing. It's hard for the government to comply if urbanisation is rapid. So they've given a development to why that's not happening. To meet the shortages, migrants build their own accommodation. Idea. Often on plots of vacant land, the outskirts of the city, to enable ease to commute to work, especially for countries with poor transport infrastructure. So there's our idea, again here, about accommodation and where it's being built, and then here, when they relate it back to a poor transport infrastructure, I was very impressed with that, there's our development. So at all stages, they've connected it back to what the question is asking. How has settlements grown due to the growth of the city? Idea, development, okay? And they've put in an extra idea at the top here, so they've maximised 4 out of 4. So those 2 questions potentially would have given you 1 level. We have to maximise our lower order and middle order questions to enable us to achieve our 7 to 9s in this class. Have a go, re-edit it if you didn't get 4 out of 4 marks on your DIT sheet. I look forward to seeing it.